Andy, 6 of 21 from the free throw line in the first half, and you guys managed to keep it close and then find a way to pull it out.
Yeah, I was proud of our team's resiliency. I mean, that was a game, honestly, and I've watched most of them, at least parts of most of them in this Big East SEC Challenge, and there's been a lot of knockdown, drag-out, physical basketball. Neither team has been able to score very fluidly. For us, having 80 points, that may be the high of the who knows. But I thought the game never really established a rhythm offensively until the second half when we finally were able to make some shots. Murph got to his left hand, the first play of the game, missed it. Reg, great effort, follows the ball down, missed the 2 free throws, and then all of a sudden it became an epidemic. Something that we've got to work through, but, it's really out of 2 guys. Let's be honest. Jarvis has got to be better. 3 for 6 out of your point guard's not good enough. But it's out of 2 guys that are seniors that have shot a bunch of balls. They got to get in the gym and make them.
It was 55-55, Andy, and then Marshall hits 2 big threes. He seemed to get a little bit more in sync, especially after the early misses. I mean, talk about how he was a catalyst for you in the second.
Yeah, I thought finally we moved him. He was so hungry again. He's so hungry searching shots when he has the ball. I'm trying to get him off the ball more to allow some dribble penetration maybe to get him an open look. That's what happened the first time Jarvis was able to get in the lane. He got a rhythm shot, knocked it down. We immediately came back and tried to call his number again. We did a little handoff where he could get an angle, and he was able to knock it down. 2 huge plays, and I think when he makes shots, our team relaxes a little bit offensively.
Flip side of that, it looked like defensively you guys played one of your better games consistently.
Yeah, we've defended pretty well. They're obviously a different level than what we have played. I was really pleased with the fact that their leading scorer, a kid that was getting 18 a game, we hold him to 1 for 12. He never really found rhythm, and I think that was because we were in constant harassment mode. Reg made some plays for us at the basket early. I thought it was very physical, on both ends at the basket, and as a result, there were a lot of fouls called. But that's what you get when you get 2 teams from these leagues.
What do you think about Snoop knocking down some threes, especially when Marshall
I thought
was out?
Snoop was the MVP of the game. And in fairness to him, and we've talked about this some, it's hard, when I was playing a lot of guys, he never really got into much of a rhythm. And then when I felt like he was starting to figure things out, I had to move him to some backup point because of the Millinghouse injury, which, again, adds to a little more confusion, and it's not good for him or us. I thought tonight he came out and he was really locked in. He made a couple of shots early. And I thought he was the MVP for us. I think if he doesn't come off the bench and score 13 points for us the way we were laboring offensively, it could have been a different game.
Just talk about Buckner, his performance today.
I just addressed our team, and when you get 31 and 26 out of your 2 front court guys, you would hope that you'd have a chance to win regardless of what else happens, and that's what we're about. Murph goes for 17 and 15. He was all over the floor. Reg goes for 14, 11, had 3 blocks, was a presence for us at the basket. That's what you need out of your upperclassmen. Also thought Nick had good minutes. Nick made a couple of plays. We run that little action for him to get to the center of the lane, and when we were really struggling offensively early, he was able to kind of keep us within striking range by making a couple shots.
It seemed like, particularly in the second half, you went to more of just having Marshall or Nick on the floor with both Snoop and Jarvis. Was that based on what the defense was showing you?
Yeah, and excuse me, Marshall picked up his 3rd early in the second half. Marshall picked up his 3rd. Jarvis picked up his 3rd maybe in the first minute of the second half, so it made me a little bit nervous. But I just kind of gambled because I feel like Jarvis settles us. 12 points, 5 assists, didn't turn the ball over. I think on the year he's like at 23 to 3 assists to turnover. He's kind of the guy that keeps us together. He had some good dribble penetration. Just tighten the rotation. Anthony's going to be a tremendous player. I thought he gave us some good energy in the second half defensively. But this game, you want to have your upperclassmen in.
And he lost 3 out of 4 non-conference games in December last year. To get this win to set the tone for the rest of December, how important could it be to build toward the rest of the schedule?
I think it's important on a number of fronts. Number one, in order to have a chance to be the team that we want to be in March, you have to protect your home floor. I've said that like a broken record, I know, but you have to protect your home floor. You have an opportunity to play a Rutgers. It's the first time Ole Miss has ever beaten a Big East team in this building. And that's saying something. I thought, pre-Civil War, I thought maybe we would have snuck one out against Rutgers. But evidently, remember the General Lee threw in a hook or something and we couldn't overcome it. It just shows that we don't get many opportunities like this. So we have to take advantage of them. Last year it was one thing after another, planes, trains, and automobiles. I certainly hope as we get deeper into the month we don't run into those issues as it relates to injuries and players and what have you. It's a good start for us, though. We now go into finals, and then we've got a very difficult road task I would like to figure out a way to maybe play an easier team on the road as we throw our new guys into that. But that'll be a very difficult game at Middle next Saturday. That's why, again, you have to protect home.
Andy Newby's given you a lot of good minutes. Didn't play today. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, he didn't show up for a pregame meal. How's that for honesty?
Sounds like a coach's decision.
It was a coach's decision. It was a good pregame meal too.
What'd you have? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Was there? I know it's early in the season, but you guys are down 8-9, can't make a bucket. You're 6 of 21 at the free throw line at that point. Was there a sign of maturity there, though, that there was no panic, that you just kind of kept chipping away?
There was no panic, and I think the thing that stabilized us was the fact that we were pretty good defensively. I think they may have gotten it. What was their largest lead? 8. But we continue to defend. They scored, I think, 10 of their first 12 in transition and off the offensive glass. We really didn't give them a lot of easy looks. Once we settled in, they were beating us on the glass most of the game. I think we were +9 in the second half, and assist to turnover, we were 13-3 in the second half. We were just much more efficient. Stayed in the game. I told the team at half, based on our first half numbers, we should have been down 10, 12, 13 points. To be down 4 with the ball, I thought showed that, hey, we've got a shot. We just got to settle down a little bit. Pardon? It was 12-2.
In a game like that, are you saying? I mean, what did you tell Marshall about some of the shots he was?
How long
making?
is the delay on this microphone? I mean, you asked me what I was saying.
And then the follow up to that is when free throws aren't going down. As a coach, do you address that during a game, or is it kind of like a coach with the field goal kicker?
Well, it's again, I try to be transparent. It's 2 guys. You got to make a free throw. We shoot a bunch of them. Shoot them where you're right. I don't care how you shoot them. Make them. If we want to win, let's make them. and it's been the same old song and dance for 4 years. But we have to have those guys. I didn't recruit them here to be free throw shooters. I recruited the other things. The free throw shooting cannot be such an Achilles heel because I do think it spreads through our team. All of a sudden now guys get the yips a little bit, and I think it actually worked on that other end. It was something about that basket. Was that where you were sitting, Hugh? Oh, because I'm saying that they struggle with making foul shots down there as well. So, I tell Marshall to settle down and to try to allow the game to come to him. I might as well be talking to my hand because he doesn't settle down very much. But I just want him to get into a rhythm. I just didn't feel like, basketball's a game of rhythm. Establish yours, disrupt theirs. Establish yours, disrupt theirs. That's really the bottom line. And we never gave ourselves to establish until the second half. Snoop made some shots, then Marshall made a couple. I thought Murph and Reg were unbelievable off the offensive glass, energetic, kept us in the game until we settled down.
What did you think of the chippiness with 3 technical fouls and 2 bench warnings?
You know what? We had a great crew here tonight. All 3 of those guys are Final Four caliber refs. I thought they did what they needed to do. There was a couple of things, just pushing, shoving. They wanted to get control of the game. There's a lot of big bodies out there. I thought they did the right thing.
And on top of that, Coach, I mean, a lot of fouls throughout the game. Did that affect the rhythm at all, do you think? And how do you get your team to overcome that in games like this?
I wish we wouldn't foul so much, but they obviously were fouling a lot as well. We were trying to get out in the open floor, which I was hoping that some of our athleticism would allow us to spread the game a bit. But you just got to, each game has a personality of its own, and you have to adapt to it. Again, I didn't think the game had much flow until, you look up and we were up 15, and I'm thinking what just happened because the game was a grind from my perspective.